The skies of Novus Terra burned for 3 days. It began with light, searing, beautiful, deadly light. The Cathar Dominion called it a cleansing. To them, it was a routine purge, another pacification of a lesser colony that refused to pay tribute. But Novus Terra was not a lesser world. It was humanity's frontier jewel, a terraformed Eden, home to 12 million settlers and the headquarters of the United Systems Agricultural Guild. Families, scientists, children, not soldiers. The Cathar didn't care. From orbit, their ships unleashed white plasma storms that liquefied cities. Oceans boiled. The planet's protective shield collapsed in less than an hour. Civilians screamed through open comms, their distress calls echoing across human channels. Desperate voices begging for mercy that would never come. When it was over, the Cathar fleet commander, Lord Admiral Zartel, sent a single message to the Terran diplomatic network. Your colonies defy the Dominion's law. We have shown restraint before, no longer. You call yourselves sons of Earth. Then return to your broken mother and hide beneath her ashes. The stars belong to us now. And with that, he cut transmission. Novus Terra was dead. Laughter. Across the stars, the galaxy watched the footage with fascination. To most, humanity was an ambitious but contained species. The newcomers, tolerated because of their trade routes and their strange diplomacy. They built alliances, signed peace accords, and pretended war was a relic of their past. The Cathar laughed. In their great citadels of black stone and mirrored steel, nobles toasted to the cleansing of the ape world. Holoscreens replayed the bombardment as art, beautiful arcs of destruction set to opera. Commentators mocked human weakness. They build homes where warriors build empires, one sneered. Across the Dominion's outer sectors, Cathar soldiers scrawled graffiti on warship hulls. Earth bends. They believed that was the end of the matter. But far away, beneath Earth's gray skies, something ancient and buried stirred, not in the soil, but in the hearts of her people. 3. The silence before thunder for 72 hours. Earth said nothing. The Galactic Council demanded a response. The trade unions issued condolences. Even human allies, the Lissari and the Crayon, offered words of sorrow and restraint. Diplomacy, they said, is the way of civilized species. But Earth's channels were silent. No broadcasts, no condolences, no council speeches. Only one ship left Sol orbit, a diplomatic corvette named Horizon Dawn. It carried a single envoy. Admiral Sarah Holt, once retired, recalled to service without public announcement. Her mission was simple: deliver Earth's message to the Dominion. When she arrived at the Cathar capital, she was mocked openly. The Dominion's ministers laughed as she walked through the marble halls of their Senate. Does your dying planet send ghosts now? One jeered. Sarah stood before the Cathar High Council, eyes cold as void steel, and said 6 words. Earth will respond. Prepare your dead. Then she left. Her corvette vanished into slipspace. The Cathar laughed again. 3 weeks later, their laughter stopped. Fee. The black ships rising it began with whispers. Mining colonies along the outer rim reported disappearances. Cathar patrol fleets gone silent, entire outposts erased from sensors. Then came the ghost signals, bursts of encrypted Terran code, fragments of ancient battle hymns, and a single phrase repeating through the static: for Novus Terra. When the first human fleet emerged, the stars dimmed. They were not the old colonial patrol ships the Dominion remembered. These were Oblivion-class dreadnoughts, hulls forged from neutron iron, silent as tombs, their engines burning blue-white like the wrath of gods. At their head flew the TNS Vengeance, Earth's flagship, rebuilt from the ashes of 3 wars and armed with weapons forbidden by every treaty the humans had ever signed. The Cathar believed Earth too moral, too bureaucratic, too slow. They were wrong. The humans had not been silent because they were afraid. They were silent because they were preparing. Within days, 72 fleets mobilized, not just Earth's, but Mars, Europa, Titan, and the orbital yards of the Terran Confederacy. Every forgotten shipyard roared back to life. Civilian freighters were stripped for war. Drones were reactivated from cold storage. The Ares Protocol, dormant for 2 centuries, was unlocked. Across human space, a single directive was broadcast. For every human world burned, a Dominion system will fall. And the galaxy trembled. The first strike, the Cathar outpost on Varnasa 4, never saw the fleet approach. The humans entered through subdimensional space, bypassing all detection nets. They didn't demand surrender. They didn't broadcast warnings. They simply descended. Kinetic rods, tungsten shafts dropped from orbit, hit the surface at Mach 25. The planet's crust shattered like glass. Entire cities sank beneath molten rock. Cathar troops tried to retaliate, only to find their orbital relays jammed by AI ghosts whispering through their comms. Novus Terra remembers. When the dust cleared, nothing lived on Varnus for 2 days later. The second Dominion system, Threlkar Prime, suffered the same fate. Their suns were hidden behind human dreadnoughts, casting shadows that lasted hours. Human marines, armored in obsidian exosuits, eyes burning like reactor cores, stormed their fortresses. They did not speak. They did not taunt. They simply executed. The Cathar began to panic. But still, their leaders boasted, "Earth cannot sustain this. Their rage will burn out." They did not yet understand that humanity's vengeance does not burn. It endures. The War of Silence. In 30 standard days, human fleets advanced across 7 sectors. Every Dominion garrison, every supply depot, every relay station, gone. The humans fought with terrifying precision, never wasting fire, never pausing to loot or claim. To them, this was not conquest. It was correction. The Cathar attempted diplomacy, sending envoys to negotiate terms. None returned. One transmission was intercepted. A human officer's voice, calm and cold. "Your empire spoke first. We're just finishing the conversation." The Dominion unleashed their Grand Armada. 10,000 ships, the largest fleet assembled in 3 millennia. It met the human 9th Expeditionary Force near the binary system of Karatul. The battle lasted 4 hours. When it ended, the stars themselves seemed dimmer. Over 8,000 Dominion ships were destroyed. Human losses, 17. Witnesses reported seeing the Vengeance alone tear through enemy lines, its railguns vaporizing cruisers in single shots. Planetary sensors captured footage of human orbital drops. Entire battalions descending in synchronized fire columns, the air itself igniting from their entry heat. The galaxy began to understand. Humanity had changed. They were no longer explorers or diplomats. They were executioners. 7. The day the Empire died, the Cathar homeworld was surrounded on the 100th day. Thousands of Terran ships formed a silent sphere around their capital planet. A blockade so vast that it eclipsed the sun. The Dominion's High Council, once so proud, now trembled inside their glass towers, watching the endless fleet through the haze of their own atmosphere. A final transmission came from Earth. It was not from a diplomat, not from a general. It was a simple message, recorded by a child, the daughter of a Novus Terra colonist. Her voice was soft, trembling. "You took my home. You took my mom and dad. Now you'll never take anything again." Then the sky split open. Human ships fired in unison. Planetary shields shattered. Oceans rose in firestorms. Cities turned to vapor. The core of the Dominion's homeworld detonated under sustained kinetic bombardment. When it was over, nothing remained, not even orbiting debris. The Cathar home system was erased from every stellar map. The war ended not with surrender, but with silence. The ashes of victory. The Galactic Council met 3 weeks later in shock. Representatives demanded answers, reparations, explanations, something. But when Earth's envoy entered the chamber, the hall fell quiet. She carried no flag, no insignia, only a datapad. She placed it on the central table. It contained one message, signed by the Terran Confederacy. "Humanity seeks no conquest. We rebuild what you allowed to burn, let it be known. Earth forgives slowly, but never forgets. Let it be known. We did not shatter." We responded. Then she left. No one dared follow. 9. The Whispers Among the Stars. In the years that followed, the Dominion's territory was divided among minor powers. Trade resumed. Treaties were signed. But everywhere, from the shimmering halls of the Lissari to the dark markets of the Outer Reach, one rule was spoken in hushed tones: never provoke Earth. Children of alien races grew up hearing stories of the shattering. Some dismissed it as legend. Others prayed it stayed that way. Yet, among human worlds, life returned to quiet normalcy. Cities were rebuilt, colonies replanted. Humanity went back to exploration, diplomacy, progress. But their fleets, those black, silent dreadnoughts, remained in orbit, unmoving, patient, like wolves resting after a hunt, watching the stars, waiting for the next threat. X. The lesson etched in fire centuries later. Historians would call it the War of Reckoning. They would debate whether Earth's retaliation was justice or vengeance, whether humanity's fury saved the galaxy from tyranny or doomed it to fear. But those who were there, those who saw the sky burn, knew the truth. Humanity did not start that war. They ended it. The Dominion believed Earth would shatter under pressure, that humanity's compassion was weakness, that their mercy was submission. But they learned too late what mercy truly meant. Mercy is restraint held by strength, and when that restraint breaks, the stars themselves bear witness. Because Earth does not shatter. Earth shatters empires, and every race that listens to the wind between the worlds, every captain who stares too long at the blue glow of Sol's distant light, remembers the vow whispered across the void. A vow born from ashes and vengeance. We do not forgive the slaughter of our own. We do not forget our dead. We are Earth, and when we rise, the galaxy trembles.